You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go get him again.
Okay.
Say something into the mic.
Something into the mic. You want me to talk louder?
No, I was just trying to see where you was at.
What you mean? I'm at the top.
Okay. How's everybody doing out there? We back again with a new episode of the show, The Lindsays. I'm TJ Lindsay. This is my gorgeous, beautiful, banging wife.
I'm Ty Lindsay.
And we are the Lindsays. And we back again with a good topic again for y'all. You know, we always coming with the heat, you know, and this one is something that's been live on the internet for a while now. We've been hearing a lot of people talking about this I'm not sure where it came from, where it started, but we're going to address it today. And the topic today is going to be pick-me's, simps, and reciprocation.
Oh boy.
So before we get started, let's get into the idea of a pick me, because my wife actually said she been called.
A pick me. Yeah.
She was called a pick me before. So as a man, I've seen it, you know, but I'm not 100% sure exactly what it means. Can you give us your definition of how what you think of it?
So honestly, I'm not sure. I just know that I was called a pick me based off of a conversation that was like going on social media. It has something to do with like fixing your husband's plate before your children's plates or something like that. Yeah. And I basically gave a breakdown, like, you know, your children, they're in school all day. Your husband's at work all day. Your children, they eat breakfast, lunch at school. Then they come home, they snack all day. They're in and out. They run in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. So they're constantly eating. Whereas your husband, dad, is at work, probably got a 30-minute break, and that's it. The man only ate one time. Then he come home, like, I just don't see nothing wrong with fixing his plate first. And I was nice enough to explain that, and I was called a pick-me.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
And I was like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I'm married. I guess I've been picked. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's one thing as far as like you've been called a pick-me and you married. So that kind of don't make sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, but what do you think? What is your idea of a pick-me then? Because you've been called a pick-me. What was your understanding of the term, you think?
It was more so like I had to, if I don't agree with what majority is saying, then I am trying to showcase or highlight like I'm different. Look at me, I'm just different. And that's kind of crazy to me.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Now, as far as, so what I would think a pick-me would be is somebody that is longing for the attention of a man, you know, kind of like in a way of like showcasing her body or going out and, you know, being overly,
Right.
you know, either sexual or overly like in somebody's face.
Yeah, just doing the most.
Yeah. That's what I would think it would
Yeah,
mean.
no, it's the exact opposite though. So
Yeah.
I agree with that. Like you want to be seen like acting like that. You just want to be seen, but it's the opposite. Like so if I say, "Oh no, like I wouldn't dare wear that," or "I ain't doing that," then I'm going to be the pick me because majority says it's okay for you to do X, Y, and Z, and if any time that you are doing anything else, you're considered a pick me, and you want him to pick you so bad,
Okay.
and it's just kind of like nah,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. I got you.
Actually, I don't.
Yeah. That make a lot of
So
sense.
it's kind of it's crazy. But I think that goes into like what a person may be feeling or like what they're lacking. That now you'll get on social media or whatever, and it's almost like you cannot dare to be different, or you're just gonna be called a pick me, or I can't I can't publicly enjoy my happiness. I can't share it publicly because if I do that, then I'm going to get attacked.
Okay. So you can't basically. So you're married. So can somebody in a relationship be a pick me? So let's say a woman is showing affection for her man online. Do you think that woman would be called a pick me? Like, let's say, it's a lot of like
Yeah.
married couples on like social media and stuff. Let's say that woman drop a video where she is, overly doing for her man.
Yeah.
Cooking for him, you know what I'm saying? Doing stuff like that. Would that woman be called a pick me on social media?
Possibly. And that's wild that you said overly doing for her man and you basically said cooking. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That is crazy.
That's wild.
But that's what we see.
But yeah, then you could be called a pick me or being willing to go the extra mile for a person or, for your spouse. You could be called a pick me. Or I'll always get like, this is why I don't even comment on posts that have anything to do with marriage and stuff like that. Like I try not to even comment because it'll turn into like, if I'm trying to give advice, it'll turn into like, oh, well, that's only going to work for so long, or he just controlling you. It'd be little stuff like that. And it's like, no, we just happy over here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can't, it's almost like you just can't, it's crazy. Like, what's wrong with you that you feel like because I'm married, my husband controls me? Like, I don't know. Folks is wild out here.
I think a lot of times, like, people often get their perception of the world from their own personal experiences. Like, nobody,
Yeah.
like, I had a man, he treated me like this for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he switched on me, it's like that.
Yeah.
And that's in my opinion, it's a lack of accountability on one side of
Yeah.
it because you're never telling the whole story.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
But on the other side, like we also have the contrary people who, what I'm saying, some people just don't like to see other people happy, especially at something that has caused them pain in the past or
Yeah.
has not worked out for them, And I think everyone kind of does that online, when they're making
Yeah.
opinions. I think that's kind of what I think Pick Me came from a little bit, Just
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, women that possibly see a healthy relationship or, a healthy relationship. And they maybe have just went through something that was a little bit more toxic.
Yeah.
So now it's forget everybody.
Yeah.
That's kind of how people do it. They project a lot. They
Yeah.
project their
Yep.
own insecurities onto every woman and like men do the same thing.
Yeah.
When we talk about simps on the other side,
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know what that is.
simp is a man who's simpler than a pimp.
Okay.
He's a little simpler, meaning it's the opposite of a pimp, kind of, what I'm saying? And I don't like the word pimp using that in this context, but a simp is somebody that his girl run him, his girl, it's kind of like the opposite of a pick me. So it's like I love my baby. You know what I'm saying? Men think that because you are overly affectionate for your woman, because you do for your woman, that
What is overly affectionate? I don't understand the term overly. That's throwing me.
I don't think that can be even measured in a relationship, because it's your job in a relationship to be overly affectionate. You know,
Yeah, let's just take overly out. There's no such thing.
affectionate. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's your job to be that way.
Yeah.
But if you're tricking, you know how they say tricking. If
Yeah.
you spend money on your girl, if you, if you do things like that, and I think it comes from the same place. The word simp comes from the same place. Now there are some men that will try to jump out the window on women that don't even like them. Now that's a different thing, I think, because you have to understand who likes you or not. But at the same time, we're talking about my woman.
Hold on. So you mean like a man going
Above and beyond to please
for
a woman
somebody
that's
that
not
don't like him?
his.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, why we gotta call him a simp? I still don't get it.
That's what they call them. They call them simps. That
He
means
like
that
her. I mean, he gonna do it.
yeah. I mean, you have to. I think that's kind of one of the messages that I wanted to speak on too. Is like, love is sacrificial. In order to find love, in order to maintain love, you have to show devotion. You have to be passionate. You gotta be affectionate. You have
Yeah.
to give your heart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Out there, in hopes that you'll get reciprocation, meaning you'll get it back. Meaning
Yeah.
a woman will love you. They say treat people the way you want to be treated. So in order for you to even find love in the first place, you kind of have to put yourself out there, not thinking that, oh, this might not work. Because I think that's where a lot of people get it wrong. And that's why a lot of people are on the side of, oh, he a simp, oh, she a pick me, is they don't even give all themselves up to nobody because they think, oh, it's not going to work for me. And if it worked for you, it ain't going to work for long.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the woe is me people, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they be wilding.
Yeah.
I just be like, what? Why my husband got to be controlling? Why can't he just love me?
Because they've never seen
Or why can't we just be happy? Why you wishing bad stuff on us?
people.
That's crazy.
People have never seen, well, they might have, but they've never seen love in their own personal life, so they almost can't believe it. It's like Santa Claus.
Yeah, so they've never experienced it.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't experience it until you experience it.
Until you give yourself
Yeah.
to experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to believe in it. But I feel like in this generation, we got a lot of people who just online, they try to make other people feel bad for having something that they may possibly want and don't have in their own life.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah,
You want what you can't have.
absolutely.
That sounded pretty harsh, but that's the
mean-
reality of it. You want what you cannot have, and you need to figure out the root cause of that issue.
It's the I ain't want it anyway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's the
yeah.
somebody don't do something for you, or you don't win at something. I ain't want to win anyway.
Yeah,
And it's like that's kind of, it's a maturity thing, I think, in some instances, but some people never grow out of that, which maturity has nothing to do with age. But
Yeah.
I think it's a maturity thing, because being able to see other people succeed, no matter what season you are in life,
Yeah.
and you ain't gotta be happy for them, but not attacking them for it.
yeah.
I think it's a level
I
of
think
maturity.
it has, like you said too, going with the maturity thing. It's like a character flaw too. I think you have to be. It's a level of willingness too. Like you know, some people can be so set in their ways. Like, this is truly how I feel. Like, you are a pick me, or no, it's not going to work out. Just because you're married, that doesn't mean it's going to work. And people really truly feel like that. Like,
Absolutely.
all marriage is it's bad and it's going to end bad. And somewhere along the way, they've hardened their hearts towards that, and so now they're unwilling. So I think willingness has a lot to do with the maturity as well.
Oh yeah.
Like, that goes hand in hand.
Now, as a woman, because as a man, I kind of explain how I feel about it. Like, if you really like a woman, you should do for her. You should be affectionate to her. You should care for her,
Yep.
blah, blah, blah. But from a woman's standpoint, how do you feel you should, like, let's say you got this dude that you like, you know what I'm saying? do you think you go all in if you really like them and you think it could be something, or are you more on the defense about it to protect your heart? You know what I'm saying? And to not be called a pick me, or is that even in your mind? Let's
No,
say you're a young woman today and you have these terms out here and this environment that we're living in. How do you
no.
approach
Pick me is absolutely not in my mind. It's never. It would never be in my mind. I've
it?
never
Okay.
been a follower. I
Yeah.
have never been a follower. Anytime I try to follow a trend or try to follow something, it never works out for me. I literally since I was a little girl, so that's just no, that's out of there. But as far as like if I really like the guy, then yeah, I'm going to be Ty.
Yeah.
Now you might have to kind of break down some barriers with a little bit more deeper things, like as far as like who I am or like my background, and like I can be very sheltered in that area. Like I don't know you like that, and I don't know if I'm ready to let you know that much.
Yeah.
But as far as like being willing, I'm always willing. I've always been willing. And so that is why I've never anyone that I consider an ex. I don't. It's all love. There's no hate there, and we've never separated. And then I'm just gonna trash you all on social. I'm not. I don't do that.
So you've never taken the bad of an old relationship
No.
and felt that way about all men at any point?
Nope.
No?
If I did, I would not be married.
Now, do you think that that's what women are doing?
Yes. So ultimately you're stripping yourself of what could be. You're stripping yourself of happiness. Yeah, you're stripping yourself of what could be. Let's say even if you don't get married, you're still stripping yourself of relationship with people,
Yeah.
like just all kind of stuff that you bitter
Yeah.
kind of turn into being a bitter person. And then it's not at this point, it's not even men anymore that you lash out on. It's women now that are happy. So now they're pick me's. And
Yeah.
you don't want nothing to do with them. So you're missing out on community,
Yeah.
and they could possibly help you grow and mature in some areas, but you're missing out on all of that because you have completely shut down. I have never been like that. I've understood that grudge holding. So when I was younger, I did hold grudges when I was a little girl. I held grudges really, really. Yeah, it was bad. But as I got older, I would talk to older people. It would be like, you shouldn't do that. Like, you too young. You got a lot of life ahead of you.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine, like, if I decided not to listen, like, the type of person I would be. I'd just be angry all the time.
Yeah.
But no, I've never. It is what it is. It happened. There is no hard feelings.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
And I think with men on our side, some men do it. You know what I'm saying? Because some men, you'll get your heart broken by a man because he got his heart broken by the girl before you.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Or
yeah.
somebody in his past.
It normally happens like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you'll be them play the man and he'll come back around and play you. You feel
Yeah.
me? And that's just the way that it kind of goes like that. But I kind of feel the same way as far as like anybody that I've ever dealt with. I have no grudge about it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be married if I did either because
Yeah.
I would be, you know what I'm saying? But I have had times like in those seasons where I wouldn't say that it was misplaced. You know what I'm saying? My anger was misplaced. Like, but there was times where I was like, not in the right space where you should ask me about how I feel about getting a girlfriend, getting a wife. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it was very temporary times though. Like
Yeah.
it didn't. I never stayed long. I never let a hard time humble us.
Yeah.
But I understand sometimes. But there's people that are habitually they take one bad
Yeah.
relationship and for the rest of their life,
Yep.
everybody gonna suffer because of this one bad relationship. Because there's one girl in 5th grade.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I asked her if she liked me, yes or no, and she said, and she wrote HELL before the no. You know? And you know what I'm saying? Because of that,
Yeah.
it's a wrap. And I feel like that is where a lot of these things come from, you know, like these terms and
Just
things
experiences and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your experiences.
Yeah. But that's yeah, no. I think you're stripping yourself of what could be. And that sucks. That's not Like, I hate that for people. I think I had said that in the last episode about adventure.
Yeah.
You are, there's no adventure in life, and that's crazy because life is about adventures.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty much what it's all about. And you walk around upset and just holding on to unforgiveness and bitterness, and you strip yourself of that.
And you can't be a good friend either.
No, you can't.
There's no way you can be a good friend if you don't, if you, anybody that is doing something that you don't, that somebody, anybody that has something that you don't have, you
Yeah.
despise them.
Yeah.
That's not a good friend.
No.
That's a jealous friend.
Very jealous.
That's not the best friend. So
Yeah.
like you said, you strip yourself of community, friendship,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yep.
you minimize the depths of a relationship. Like we've been talking recently, like relationships have depths to them. They can go
Yeah.
deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
But if you're only willing to go, you're only willing to put your feet in the water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're never gonna understand how deep it is. You know. So yeah, that's a big point right there.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure. Now, like we said earlier, you do on the others and they do for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's where we talk about surrendering for the right person, you know? So it's kind of like your relationship with the Lord, you
Yeah.
know? That's a relationship where you surrender in,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? You give yourself, you surrender to the Lord. In a
Yeah.
marriage, I surrender to my wife, you
Yeah.
know? This is a long-term thing. This is
Yes.
something that I want.
Yes.
But question for you, how do you know? I know we talked a little bit about this before, like asking questions and things like that and that nature, but when is the right time to surrender to a man? So 2 questions. When is the right time to surrender to a man? And we talked about pick-me's earlier. How you feel about the submission term when they get a hold of that online? Because I know they call them pick-me's too.
So, what was the first question? How do
you know the right time to surrender to a man? When are you ready to surrender to get on this program? pretty much?
So, okay, for me, he has to have faith in God. Like, that's just going to be important, right? And I understand that shit. It sounds cliche because we married, but if I think about when we first hooked up, like how we got together, it has to be, you have to believe in the Lord. You have to,
Yeah.
because that's an important relationship for me. And then I understand like the way God views a man in the marriage, in the woman in the marriage. That part I understand. Now you learn along the way, but I understand the basic fundamentals. So that is very important.
Yeah.
If I say if he don't believe and she believe, that's hard to then say, all right, well, let's still get married. I don't know. I don't know if that would have ever worked for us. I don't know. That's hard to me. That's hard. I can't imagine like marrying you still even though you don't believe. Like, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
hard to me.
I feel you.
And I think that you can always tell by like your personal walk with God. So, as much as you surrender to God, this is going to pinpoint how you act with people, period, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Especially something like a marriage. So the way you interact with God, however much you interact and surrender to Him, that's that you only gonna put forth that effort with that man.
That's true.
And so now it take me to submission.
Yeah.
If you cannot submit to God, just for the women, if you don't listen to God and you cannot obey Him, you won't surrender unto Him, you won't submit everything unto Him, you won't allow Him to guide you and lead you. If you will not allow him to do that, God that you say you believe in, if you won't allow God to do that for you, you're gonna have a hard time submitting to any man. I don't care if God dropped him right there. I mean, if he had all the check marks on the box, he could be perfect, but you're not. You won't know what to do with it because your source, who your source is, you don't submit to him.
Yeah.
So So submission to me, like I just said, it's pretty much allowing your spouse, your husband, to lead the way. I trust you. I trust you to lead the family. I trust you have my best interests at heart. I trust all of that. You got it, boss. You got it. I mean, that's just how
a lot of pressure on my shoulders.
And it's like, it's not, I think when people, when women, when
that.
social media and women talk about submission, we get into that whole, oh, ain't no man controlling me. And it's not really, you have to take control out of it. You have to take your emotions out of it, because it really ain't got nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
I don't mind my husband sitting down and saying, hey, Ty, have you thought about X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, it's my job. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that falls under submission.
Yeah.
Have you thought about this, this, and this, and this, and this? Now, if I don't have you, I'm just finna go out here willy-nilly and figure it out. And I might bump my head here and there. At least I learned my lesson, but I'd rather my husband be able to I'd rather have another set of eyes like, hold on. Did you think about this before, or have you thought about this before you go and do this?
Yeah.
Because I know there's been plenty of times where I come and say something crazy to you, and you're like, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, that's true.
But if I can only imagine if I didn't have you.
Oh, that's sweet.
Like, I'd just be out here just doing whatever.
That's true. This is like the first generation of women that actually have to lead themselves in a not the majority, but there's a great amount of women who don't, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
who are out here trying to navigate the world alone, which is scary. But again,
It is scary.
having the Lord, you know, is the light, you know what I'm saying? But do you said some good stuff there. Do you believe that you are more likely to have these opinions about men if you don't have a good relationship, or you haven't submitted to God? Do you think a lot of these women, if they had, do you think that would be a good starting point for them to, I want a husband, you know what I'm saying? Improve my relationship with God. Is that a good prerequisite to say, oh, I'm ready for a husband now?
Yeah, if God ordained.
Okay.
If God ordained it, if he said, no, because marriage ain't for everybody. Some people don't want to get married. Marriage ain't for everybody.
I get it.
But let's say if it's a woman that's what she desires, I do feel like she need to focus and fixate on God. And I say this because men too, but we're specifying women right now. I think a lot of us, we want to have full control.
Yeah.
And we can be very emotional. And so a lot of decision making, it stems from emotions.
Yeah.
But more so than ever, we have to control the narrative. And that's why we have a hard time with our relationship with God. Like, because what God says, it don't make sense to us. And our brain, it just don't make sense. Like, no.
Yeah, like the disciples, that's a hard teaching, Jesus.
Yeah, like, this don't make sense. And what you saying, none of this adds up. I'm hearing what you saying, but I'm looking at it and it,
Yeah.
You know, so we try to control it, or we try to fix it. But I do feel like if that's truly what you desire, then I do think that you should sit down and consider your relationship with God. What are you doing with God? Are you prioritizing him? Is your relationship with God intentional? Because all of those things are going to come up when you get married.
That's true.
It's going to shine a light.
Absolutely. That's
it's going to shine a light.
Yeah.
And me and my girl was talking about this. Me and Amber was actually talking about this. Like, and shout out to Amber. But
shout out to Amber. We always shout her out.
Like, your relationship with God kind of highlights your willingness to your spouse.
Yeah. Same thing from a man's perspective. This is not a one-sided conversation. This is, again, sacrificial love. The way that Jesus sacrificed himself for us. A man has to be able to sacrifice as well to God. You know, he has to have a great relationship with the Lord. I think that's a great starting place for a man as well.
Yeah.
Because if you'll submit to the Lord, because a man also, the Bible don't just say, wives, submit yourself to the husband. It also says, husband, submit yourself to your wife. So you also have to know that as well as a man. You got to submit yourself to your woman as well.
Yeah.
Now, in the hierarchy, a man is supposed to lead. Adam came first.
Yeah.
Blase, blase.
Yeah.
So your conversation is more valid from the pick me point, but I just want to throw that in there
Yeah.
just so people don't think it's only women that need to
Oh no.
follow God. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Before and learn how to follow in that way by doing
Yeah.
that. You have to love how Jesus loved the church. But
Yeah,
my fault.
that's literally that's what submission is. You can even take it to like going to work. Leadership, you are submitting to your leadership. What they tell you to do, you do it. I don't understand why you can't submit to God. I don't understand why you can't submit to your husband. I don't understand why the term submit is bothering you at this point. Now that I gave it to you like that, because that's what you're doing. You're submitting under that leadership, and that is what marriage is. You are just submitting to your husband's leadership. You trust your job
Yeah.
because you said yes. When they offered you the position, you said yes. It came with benefits. You asked about the benefits.
Health.
What about this? What about that? What y'all come with? How will I get paid? Da, da, da. You felt like it sounded good. And because it sounded good,
That's
they are
facts.
requiring you to submit under their leadership. And it's like that with marriage. We just get emotional.
And you get paid.
You get paid.
Because I mean, there's a reciprocation
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
Again, you
Yep.
submit, but there's reciprocation.
Yes.
Same thing gonna happen with the Lord.
Yeah.
Same thing gonna happen with your man.
Yeah.
There's reciprocation there, but you
Yes.
have to be willing to submit, as
Yeah.
you said, in a way. Same thing with the husband. I got to be willing to submit. There's reciprocation there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get more back than what I put in. That's like the whole Bible verse about tithing. What you say,
Yeah,
put me
yeah.
to the test. You know, I'm gonna get more back than what I put in. You know, is always the meaning of submission
Yes.
in that substance. When
Yeah.
I submit a vote. You know what I'm saying? Submit. If we talk about the word submitting
Yeah.
doesn't always mean. I think it's the word sub, which means under, that we get caught up on. I'm underneath, which in the holy order you should understand that anyways. But as far as submission is you putting in your application,
Yeah.
you putting in my time, my whatever I'm submitting, and however it plays out, I'm getting back whatever is
Yeah.
for me within that submission. It's not always about
Somebody control
me being a slave.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's where women think they in slavery.
Yeah.
And I think also they project. You know what I'm saying? Not even project. They'll see things, and people
Yeah.
have seen things that makes them feel like, oh, this feels like, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
you ain't
yeah,
never
yeah.
even been through nothing
You've
like
never
that.
been through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've seen, I've grown up around both aspects of it. Like, my dad and his wife, they stayed married forever. Like, I still say his wife. I do it all the time. His ex-wife.
Yeah.
Because they stayed married forever. We was grown when they decided to separate. It's literally my siblings. They still call her like their stepmom. Like, that's how crazy it is. Like, y'all waited till we was grown. Crazy.
Yeah.
But I seen that, and whatever they went through, I couldn't even really tell you what they went through because they didn't really argue a lot around us. They had a lot of kids. Between both of them, it was 8 of us. I just remember my dad and her like showing up to like basketball games and track meets and stuff like that. And then I also seen it from the other end where there was some unhealthy marriages, or there just was some people that weren't married, and it was very wild.
Yeah.
So I've seen it from both ends, and I've experienced it from both ends. And it don't get no better than being married to your bestie, to the love of your life. It just don't get no better than that. And having a person, because I
Yeah.
can't imagine doing life by myself. It's pretty wild out here. I'd probably be mean.
Okay, you just made a good point. That's what I'm saying.
I
That's
would
why
be
girls are
mean.
calling girls. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm mean. It's not happening for me, and that's with everything. It ain't just marriage
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
relationships. That's just life in general.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
things ain't happening in your life the way you want them to happen,
You just mean.
you don't like. It's like the episode of Martin, man. I always bring back to the episode of Martin when everybody was winning. When Gina and Pam both got a promotion. When Tommy had went and he had won some money or something. Then Cole come back. He won this contest for these tickets, and Martin was failing in his career, and he all down bad. And that's just life.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
times
yeah.
when you
Yeah.
are not on top and other people are
Yeah.
elevating, and that's not a knock on you.
Yeah.
I think we feel attacked by other people's success or other people's
Yeah.
love. It almost attacks us. It hits us in our sore spot. Instead of us using it as an example, this is what the God did for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God can do for you. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I think we don't use that or what somebody else done because he did it. This has always been my mindset. He did it. I can
I
do
can
it
do
too.
it too. Yeah.
Show me an example.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
know?
for sure. For sure. But yeah, we went way left. We started off
We
with
did.
pick me's and simps. But that's what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole pick me term, I ain't never liked it. And if I give you my opinion, I think pick me is, in my opinion, is the exact opposite of what the world is pushing right now. And that's what
Yeah.
you opened up with earlier. And
So what's a
that's-
real pick me?
If I had to give it a term, it's the
ahead.
one that's out there that's loud and obnoxious for no reason. You see a group of guys and you just loud. Mm-hmm. You trying to get their attention.
Yeah.
You trying to get their attention.
Yeah.
Now some people ain't gonna like this, but you the
Talk
loudest
about
one
it.
in the crowd. You got your booty cheeks hanging out.
Talk about it.
And I know we love to say, we want to look good for ourselves, and a part of that is true. But
get
it's
it.
another part. I'll be the first to admit, it's been a couple times I got dressed up and was like, I'm about to be the baddest in the club. And I'm finna get free drinks.
See? Yeah. That's
I'm
true.
finna get free drinks based off this outfit alone.
Facts. Yeah.
We finna get some free drinks. But a lot of women ain't going to be open and honest and say all of that.
Yeah.
But that's what I think a pick me is. You loud and you want the attention. And we can see it. It's seeping.
Yeah.
It's very clearly that you want the attention. Not by saying, oh, I'm different. I don't even understand how that correlates.
Yeah, because that would be going against what everybody else
Yeah. And that's what they stack.
They're saying purposely going against it, like in a way that a man would see favorable, I guess, though. Which, again,
What do you mean purposely, though? Like that, how you going to tell me how I feel or who I am? So if I
Yeah,
say I
that's true.
prefer to wear hoop shorts and a tank top over wearing booty shorts, how you going to... how do you get to decide?
You're right.
Or if I say I like to play video games versus going out, hanging out all night, that would... I got to be a pick-me because I like to play video games?
Yeah. I guess not. And you just brought up a crazy point that I need to have a whole show on this point. I don't know if I should even go into this, but because we talk about simps. Like I said earlier, simp is the opposite of pimp, is what they say. If any of my men ever read the book Pimp by Iceberg Slim.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, I got to bring it up. And if you see what an actual pimp is, I think that a pimp got a lot of simp in him. When we talk about what a pimp does for the women in that context, and
Yeah.
I don't advocate for any of
Yeah,
that, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
I
But
got
at
you.
the same time, we don't even understand these words we
Yeah.
using. And for I've done the same thing as far as like, and they're successful, sacrificial, loving men.
Yeah.
They're successful men who they put their heart on the altar for women, and women like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They might get their heart broke, blah, 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 but it's never about what happens to you. It's always about what you do after that happens.
Yeah.
So,
Like, why do I have to be angry with you? That's essentially what you're saying. You saying that I gotta be like, okay, girl, I agree with you because so and so broke my heart too. So now I just agree with you. That's kind of sort of what it sounds like, and it's like I don't have to do that.
Exactly.
It still ain't gonna change the fact that I like to play video games more than I like to hang out. Whether I get
Yeah.
my heart broken 30 times, it's not gonna change that factor.
And I think when we young, we more willing to have that sacrificial love. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion,
Yeah. Well, yeah,
when you're
yeah,
young,
yeah,
because you haven't seen or you haven't had your heart broken yet,
yeah,
or whatever. So everybody when they're young, they kind of feel like it can
yeah,
happen for them.
yeah.
But
That's
as you
true.
get older, your heart get harder. You get, you know what I'm saying? You get to seeing what happens to other people. It might happen to you in some
Yeah,
stage, and
yeah.
you lose that childlike faith
That is very true.
that once said anything is possible,
And now
and now it's like Saul.
you old and angry.
Yeah, yeah, that's facts.
You just
So
old and angry.
the world, your experience in the world shapes
Who you are.
who
a
you
lot.
are. Yeah,
for
who
sure.
you are. But it shouldn't shape the way you view everybody else. And I think a lot of women, by
Period.
using the pick me term, and men by calling people simps and all that, they're ignoring all of the success that has happened with these same people that you're talking about
Yeah.
within their relationships and their relationships with God in general.
Yep.
And I think that I said earlier, like, do you think that women who are using the pick me term and all that, I don't think you answered this question. Do you think if they had a better relationship with God, would they still feel like that everybody's a pick me? You know what I'm saying? Like, would they have the same perspective on a woman that is giving herself for her man if they had that submission to the Lord? You know, would they? Do you think, or do you think some people just evil and they just feel like
No.
that?
I feel like if you had the relationship with, if you have that relationship with God, he would start, he would begin to deal with you in that area. And I think there would become a time would come where like you no longer feel like that. Because that's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You get your heart broke or something happened to you detrimental, and now you pursue God. You have a relationship with God, and now you're on this journey with Him. But that's typically what happens. It don't happen overnight, but that's what happens. He works with you in that area. You submit unto Him. You bring it to Him. This is where I need you to take over. Period. But specifically in this area, I feel some type of way. Please deliver me from this way of
Yeah.
thinking. And that's typically how it happens. Don't happen overnight, but I think that they would be more willing to see it from a different perspective, because you can't pursue a relationship with God and then just your heart doesn't change.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to question who you talking to,
Yeah.
because
That's
that's not how God works, right? So that don't even go together.
Yeah. And there's also that aspect of a relationship with God, like you said, it's also teaches you about ups and downs, because there's some things that
Yeah.
you ask for
Yeah.
from God that God ain't gonna just give you right away. You know, that's the same it's gonna be with a relationship.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
God's, you know how they say He may not come when you want Him,
He's always on time.
but He's always on
Yeah.
time. You know,
Yeah.
and God. He teaches you patience through
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? And women sometimes may need to have patience with men. Sometimes the women will leave a man too quick, you know, or they'll, they just, because it's not happening right away for me. Like, I see a lot of people turn away from the Lord or their relationship in
Yeah.
the church and things like that because of a bad season or a bad game or something happened in
Yeah.
their life and they lose all faith.
Yeah.
You know?
No, you can't do that.
And that's the same thing as a relationship. I feel
Yeah.
like some bad things happen in relationships. We have situations that happen in relationships, and we can either throw it all away, over this,
Yeah.
or we can work on it and understand that love is patient. It takes time, and everything gonna happen on God's time.
Yeah.
So
For sure. I concur.
I concur too. Any last words that you want to say to women out there that have been called a pick me from a woman who's been called a pick me before?
Girl, you ain't no pick me girl. You better love that man.
Yeah.
Keep on loving him. I not necessarily to the woman who has been called pick me. Let me
Speak to
take that
both of
back.
them. Speak to both
Unless it
sides.
hurts your feelings,
Yeah.
don't let that change who you are. You are who you are for a reason, and the people that's supposed to be around you and the people that's supposed to be in your life, they'll be there. So it don't really matter what nobody else is talking about. You can call me a pick. Let them continue to call you a pick me. That's something that they have to work out. Now, to the women who calls other women pick me's, I hear you. And I'm truly sorry for what has happened or what has taken place in your life. That it would bother you so much that you would then spew. And last week we talked about words, but that you would then go and dispute those kinds of words to other women. So I hate that happened to you, and I'm truly sorry. And for all the women, pursue a relationship with God. If you do not already have one with Him, pursue one with Him. If it's shattered right now, if it's shaky, if it's rocky, you ain't talked to him in a couple months, you think he mad at you, you think he don't want nothing to do with you, that's not like God. Go back to him. He's waiting. Go back to him and go from there. You have to be willing, have a willing heart, whatever you do. Always be willing. That's very important in life, period. You have to have a heart of willingness.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's all I have. Y'all can keep calling me pick me though. I'm gonna love my husband.
She better.
I'm gonna keep making them plates.
She
Make your
better.
plates.
I'll tell y'all if she quit.
I'm gonna keep on loving you.
No, that's facts though. But if I was to speak to the men, to the men who maybe have been called a simp in their life, and also the men that call other men simps. If I was to do a quick synopsis on that, ain't nothing wrong with loving a woman, man. We used to have that old R&B love back in the day.
Yeah.
That old talking about let's get married. We talking about it doesn't really matter too much to me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like we used
That's
to
my
really
song, though,
we
for
used to
real.
really love women down. We used to
Okay.
really treat them. We used to really treat them.
We used to love women down.
We used to treat them differently. You know what I'm saying? A woman was very high up in a man's life.
Yeah.
And I feel like they've become so low because we chasing the bag.
Yeah.
Things of that nature. And also, I feel like the whole red pill thing too. But ain't nothing wrong with getting you a woman, getting you a wife. I wrote a song recently where I was talking about how to be a player. You ever seen the movie, the movie How to Be a Player?
I'm done.
With Bill Bellamy. Bill Bellamy has been married now for 27 years.
27 years for real?
27 years. So,
Dang.
I'm saying that to say, for dudes calling dudes simps and in the simps, blah, blah, ain't nothing wrong with getting you a woman. Ain't nothing wrong with settling down. If that's not your life, that's not your life.
Yeah.
If the shoe don't fit, don't wear it. If it don't apply, let it fly. But ain't nothing wrong with loving your woman. I love this woman so much. Love her so much. She
better.
is my everything, my queen, my everything. And I just love having her by my side. And it's always good to be able to politic with, you know what I'm saying, my woman. That's why we do this show. And I want to see other people get this that I feel. You know what I'm saying? I want other people to get this feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because it's beautiful. And yeah, we really close. And it's great. That's my baby right there. So don't be scared to tell nobody you love them. Don't be scared to sacrifice. Put your life on the line, but more so your feelings on the line for somebody that you really care about.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
And that will be reciprocated the same way when you pray to God and when you have a relationship with God, God always bless you. So
Yeah.
your relationship with God, relationship with your woman, we the trio, we
Yeah.
together,
Yep.
the two become one, and we get our relationship on with God. But we're gonna get out of here. This is a long one right here.
This is.
Yeah. Let's get up out of here. But love y'all. And we talked about Martin earlier. Like Pam say, hey.
Bye.